Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For any first time viewers, I'm Jesse Rebirth, and today we're going to be deep diving into this fan art right here. So, the front is a very strange picture to go with for this, but this is an A3 custom collectible. It's a Jason Fabok Superman 1/4 scale. There was a time when I was buying up every fan art I found, basically, while getting Prime 1s and sideshows and everything, but a lot of these things that you order, it takes a very long time to get a hold of them. So by the time I realized it, this Superman's going to be very close to our Prime 1 Hush Superman in pose and stance and everything, but he goes with the Jason Fabok-esque. It's based off a Jason Fabok picture, but I really don't think it carries the characteristics of a Jason Fabok Batman, but it's a highly subjective piece. Some people hate his suit, some people love his suit. I like the statue, I like it a lot. This Superman, he looked awesome in the renders and everything, so we're going to see what he looks like as we get into him. But this is a fan art. Jason Fabok is probably one of the most incredible artists in the mainstream comics at the moment. We all know that DC Comics is going to have some turbulent times ahead. I don't know if you paid attention, but with the AT&T thing, they fired basically a lot of staff from DC, and they're kind of bringing in a bunch of woke new players to be in there. I mean, if you don't believe any of this, just look it up. DC's basically moving to YA novels. They'll still do Batman and Superman and their main ones. Jim Lee is kind of going to be the head of keeping that alive for as long as they can, basically. But who knows what's going to be the future for DC at the moment. Jason Fabok and Jeff Johns, this is where I'm going with it. They just did probably one of the last great big comics to hit, because we all know that comics have gotten very woke and these SJWs are killing the industry, but Jason Fabok and Jeff Johns just released the first book to the Three Jokers. Karen and I read it immediately the first night we got it. We went and picked it up, but we had ordered all 15 covers from an online comic book store, but we wanted to at least read it as it's coming out, and I'll tell you this, it is incredible. It's so cool. Jason Fabok basically took a lot of elements of all these different Batmans, combined it with his Batman. So the Batmobile resembles the 89 Batmobile a little bit from the back end and everything. But it's so cool because he has like the return symbol, the 89 belt, the 89 boots. He's got this real Fabok style to him, but with 89 pull. It's amazing. But with all that being said, Zack Snyder really made me into a Superman fan. With Henry Cavill's Superman, I fell in love with the character. I like Christopher Reeve and everything, but it was never like, I wouldn't just buy Superman comics. I was more of just a Batman reader with Justice League and the few Supermans here and there in between. Like before, Superman Red Sun was probably my favorite Superman book ever, but now I've kind of expanded my Superman world. And that was ever since I saw Man of Steel by Zack Snyder. And it made me into a collector that wanted to have some Superman pieces. Not just toys, but I mean fully committed statues that I had to spend a lot of money on, basically. I would have never done that for a character like Superman before, but I love the Boy Scout. I think he's awesome. Let's go ahead, let's get this open, let's dive into it and see how it is. Alright, so, yeah, I assume this has to be the way we're going in here. I don't think he's upside down. I think he was just meant to be that way. So we'll dive into our base first. I mean, just seeing this already, it looks gorgeous. And the base is going to be a lot like the Hush one where he's propped up on a column. And I think that's kind of what they were going for at the time. But I went through a stage where I was like, oh man, the Hush Superman is kind of just like this one, but this more Fabok-esque. We'll see. Oh geez, I got number 35 of 35. So you can see the bottom. This is a fan art. Here's our base. I mean, paint job's incredible. It looks good. I almost feel like the master of the 3D printed. You think that's what those are, is layer lines? It almost looks like it. So 3D printing is really a big part of what Karen and I do. We 3D print all the time. I talk about it a little bit here and there, but I'm gonna really make an effort to start showing you what I do with all these 3D printed things, because we are moving on a lot of cool stuff. We got some really cool heads coming to you. I've talked about it a million times and you guys are probably sick of hearing it and not seeing it, but we are literally cooking on it. We had to do a throwaway mold to get the head perfect, and we have the resin setting right now for that first cast to make basically the master. So it's very exciting. So I do know with this Superman, we're gonna have basically two options. We're gonna have option one, where this is our front. You can see where it's gonna hook in right there. There we go. I guess it's kind of magnetic. It's probably not really meant to move, but that's gonna be our front. We're gonna have this Daily Planet sign that's all beat up, be our base front. And then our other option, which I definitely think I would lean towards this option, because we got a Parademon, which I think that's way cooler. So it'll be as easy as just taking it, moving it, and putting another one on. I definitely think this is a very large piece to kind of have to store. I really dig the optionability of it, basically, the choices you have, the switch outs, but it does seem like something that will be, it won't be a problem, but it's just kind of crazy. One of our Parademon's wings, which makes me wonder how that's gonna, oh, you know what, it probably sits somewhere on the base, like it got ripped out of him. I don't know. We'll come to that when we need to. We got one of our heads. We'll hold off on that. All right. Got another one of our head sculpts. Let's go ahead. We'll get his body out. Oh, wow. So this Superman body, from what I could see when they were doing the production pictures and everything, he looked really good. This is basically like a Hush Superman, but for 1/4 collectors. You can see he's got all the right texture. He's got this really metallic symbol. It's a little dirty. But yeah, you see that it's almost the exact same texture as the Hush one with the leather to him and everything. He's got kind of a similar pose, but this is straight from a Fabok cover of Superman. So he's gonna go right in there. There's gonna be options with these switch outs. So we got just a normal fist right there. We got this cape. So you can see it's a really nice textured cape. It's got that classic just yellow S for the Superman. It's gonna, peg's gonna drop right in his back. Oof. Let's make sure. It drives me crazy because you know that they put these pieces together once when they, you know, we might have wanted to put a head sculpt in there first. Let's make sure. All right. So we got this classic head sculpt from that cover. There we go. So that's the Fabok style cover. That's the head that goes with the Fabok style. That is his actual pose. That's everything of that Fabok cover, except in the Fabok cover he's floating in air. He is a good looking piece. You can definitely tell he's a fan art. To be honest, I've kind of moved away from fan arts. I definitely want to produce fan arts, but I had an experience with a cave piece. It's Batman sitting in a chair on a huge base with all of his computers around him, and it was 3 boxes. And what had happened is everyone that wanted the slower shipping, because what you don't get too is these large companies that ship these huge statues like Prime 1, they get a deal with shipping. But when you go through like a factory like Ownage or something like that, and it's going straight to the people, there's like no deal on shipping. You almost pay as much for shipping as you do for the statue. And after a while, that gets kind of upsetting, I guess you could say. So as Batman, I did anything I could to cut down on his shipping costs. So he's 3 huge boxes, and they messed it up to where the guy that basically did the legwork to get them shipped, he just shipped box 1, 2, 3, but not matching edition numbers out to the people. So we ended up getting 2 boxes that were painted and 1 box that was a kit. So it's going to be a Frankenstein of a piece that Karen and I are basically going to have to go in there and paint. But so after that, it kind of put a bad taste for fan arts in my mouth. There's a couple groups out there though. If you can find the right groups, like there's some I love. My Hero Studio, I guess I could talk about them because you've seen a statue I have of them. But I'm not sure, some of these groups don't like to be talked about. But this one group is making some incredible Batman pieces. They are so cool. I will stick around with them. But for the most part, I've kind of steered away from a lot of the fan art pieces just because they're never going to end. And eventually Prime 1's going to get around to them anyway. Now, these little rebarb pieces, I do not know.
There's some.
So, you know what? I'm sure there's a certain pattern they're supposed to go in. That's almost works perfect, huh? Let's see. Do you see any other spot?
Let me see too. Huh. They don't.
What I'm thinking is some might go on this. Oh, yep. Check it out. Right here. There are a couple. I dig him. I like him. He's cool. He's 1/4. We've kind of moved away from 1/4. But check out this extra piece we got here. I really think fan arts, like the best way to go with it sometimes would be to go just kit, save some money, and have them painted, because I feel like sometimes the paint work that goes into a fan art definitely is not the top quality paint job out there. I mean, not even Sideshow gets amazing quality paints sometimes. Now what I want to do is I want to get this Daily Planet version of the base out of here. want to get this version. I think that's way cooler. Wow. I dig that base.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only problem I have though now is at the time when this was being made, it seemed like it was groundbreaking with the texture and everything. But once you get a Superman like Hush Superman, and this is kind of so close to that Hush Superman, you're kind of just like, all right. And you know, you wait so long for these things that you kind of, I think that head actually looks better on him.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him. I think he's cool, but I definitely think the Hush Superman, being 1/3 and everything, being just this hulking brute, definitely beats him out of the water, because they would be almost in direct competition to each other. But what we should do is we should get his companion piece sitting here with him. And we'll see how they're building a whole Justice League with these pieces. And I'd really like to, let's get Batman in here and see how everyone likes it. Alright, so you can see them together. These two are from the same group, A3. The Batman is based off a Fabok cover that was really cool. Well, it's actually just a Fabok piece of art. It's based off him. And he's got the pose and everything, but he's not quite Fabok. The head isn't Fabok. And when your head ain't Fabok, you kind of lose the whole Fabok-esque to him. But the thing that I notice here right off the bat is the Superman and the Batman scale are off. Superman's smaller, while Batman's just completely larger. I mean, his calf is almost as big as Superman's waist in a way. But, I mean, scaling is a problem that a lot of companies seem to have. Prime 1, you can have 3 1/3 statues and none of them be the same scale. Deadman makes Arkham Origins Batman look tiny. And then Ben Affleck Justice League Batman is huge compared to some of these other Batmans. So it's like, the scaling is off. Now, one thing that I always do, when I have a file, I like to pull up both files in the whatever program I'm using, and I like to base them off of each other. I also take life-size heights and convert them down to millimeters, and then go off that too, and it kind of made it. I get it if different artists are sculpting these and everything, but see, that's where I feel like a lot of the problem is. If you commission something from an artist and then he sends you the files and then you take those files and just send them to the factory at different times, I mean, you're going to get something that happens like this. I think you need to be in the middle and you need to get everything scaled up. You should take the Batman files with the Superman files. Now, one thing I would do first off is I would pull up their chests and I would scale them off of each other. I would try to make them as close as I could the same size. With the Hush line, Batman and Superman are monstrous compared to Huntress. People have showed like sizing scales. I wouldn't know because the Huntress we had, I had to return her because she was broken. And we haven't bought her again yet. Ivy will be shipping here soon, but you know, I can't base it off of anything else yet. We were supposed to get a Catwoman and a Nightwing from the Hush line, but who knows? I think this is a cool piece. But at the time I ordered him, he was an awesome piece. And renders tend to make these things look even cooler. But after owning the Hush Superman, like, I don't really know if there's going to be a place for him in my collection. And I'm just being honest here. You know, in all my videos, I give true, honest opinions of what I think of things. And I don't sell anything, really, unless it's really old. Like, I sold Chronicle, Breakout T-Rex. You know, Karen and I have the Iron Studios T-Rex diorama scene. We just never got around to opening it, and it's going to be so big. when Karen and I move, we'll have some more room to do some of this. I know people are always asking for room tours and stuff like that. I keep my favorites, though, right around me. But right now, when I do my video about our 3D projects, you will see the sheer amount of 3D things we have sitting just in our living room that are being sanded, epoxy sculpted, sprayed and sanded. We don't sand inside, obviously, but they're just kind of waiting to get molded. We just got our silicone and everything. But he's a great piece. And I mean, the other 34 people that got him, they might absolutely love him. I like him. I would say he's a good piece. But being a Hush Superman owner, to me, it's underwhelming. He's 1/4, which is a great scale to collect things in. But he's smaller. And now, the Batman is a very subjective piece. There's some people that think it's the worst Batman ever made. I actually like him. I think he is a good Batman. He has some weird anatomy to him where his forearm is so big and he doesn't have that Fabok head that really tells you this is a Fabok Batman. But I don't know. I'll be selling this Superman. I'm just throwing that out there. I know that it'll be hard to unload some of these sometimes because 1, they're so expensive. 2, shipping on them is so expensive. I know I'll take a loss for it. I just know I will. I'm always open to a trade too, depending if someone has something they want to get rid of and they want him for it, I'd be definitely down. But that's just kind of how I feel about him. He's a great piece. I'm sure a lot of people would like to have him. A lot of people would enjoy him. His texture is awesome. His sculpt is awesome. His presence is awesome. I dig the Parademon. I dig the extra Parademon head. I think this angry head is a bit better than the actual Fabok Superman head. But to me, I don't know. This piece just isn't going to fit in with my collection, basically. So, I don't know. I don't want this to be like a dapper review. I don't want it to be like if you have the piece that you think I'm like saying it's bad or anything. It's not going to be a good fit for me. But he's cool. I dig him. I like him. But I won't be keeping him. Batman, it's still up in the air. I might actually end up selling him one day, but I don't know. There's something weird about him. It's a very well-made fan art, and I do like him. But with all the Prime 1 pieces that just keep getting better and better and bigger and better, fan arts, unless it's something incredible, they're kind of taking a back seat for me. I wasn't really into them too much before, and then I got way into them, and now I'm just I'm going back to the big ones. We're going to make some fan arts. I'll definitely, my feeling to it, the worst part about the fan art game is there's people that are making statues just to sell statues. I mean, the fan art world is booming. You might have never even heard of this, but they're in hidden groups all over Facebook. They're booming, but a lot of things are people just making things to get rid of things. The way my theory is on this, because any of the fan arts I make are going to be pieces I want to own. I actually have an incredible sculptor that did the extra Prime 1 heads that I'm about to make a video of. He's doing a 1/3 Batman for me. It's going to be really cool. I'll give you a hint. It's Nightfall. It's not Azrael, but it is Nightfall related. But after that cave fan art with the computer, it's going to be fun painting him. That's what I'll be honest about. It will be fun painting him. But that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because it's like, with a fan art, you're only dealing with people. It's not like a company that's going to give a full refund or make it right. It was like a weird communication where this person was supposed to ship this box to this person, and I got my label, but no one was prepared to ship me anything. So it's like, I'm not sending this piece and then never getting anything. And then the lockdowns happened and everything went weird. And then I've never heard anything about it. I mean, I've had this thing for easily a year at this point. just sitting in 3 gigantic boxes. It is the sickest piece, too. Imagine a 1/4 Batman sitting in a chair on the ground of the cave with computers around him. It is so cool. I want to open it up and just show it here. Maybe we'll open the Frankenstein, and then Karen and I will paint it. We just got a cool new little tip and everything because we were using a really old paint setup. But I'm kind of going off here. But I dig him. I like him. I think he's a great piece. He's very cool. But as a Superman Hush owner, it's just not going to be a piece for me. But I just got to be honest. That's the way we'll leave this video. We'll get some cool close-up shots of him and everything. Let me know what you think of him. Let me know if you have a friend that might want him. Because I would rather give him to someone that really wants him than to try to put him up on eBay or something. I'm really not a big fan of selling collectibles on eBay and stuff like that. But contact me if it's something you would want. We could work out a deal. I'm extremely reasonable with stuff like this. I get it. But anyway, let me know what you think of this video. Find me over on Instagram. I'm Jesse_Rebirth over there. Leave me a like, leave me a share, tell a friend about this. But most of all, guys, keep buying toys.